it was interesting to have you on today because, growing up, I watched you on SportsCenter on ESPN, and I took a step back and thought, from the moment I would watch you to now sharing the same world as you, baseball coverage has certainly changed quite a bit from when you started. When you think about the changes over the years in covering Major League Baseball, what comes to mind?
Oh my God. Well, the immediacy of it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Twitter started, and I grew up on a farm in Vermont, and we didn't have a television. And I had one sports report every day that I had access to. It was on WDV at 7:15. It followed the farm report, and the question was whether or not my school bus would arrive before it got there, right? And then we got the papers on Sunday, but that was it. And now I remember when Twitter started thinking, if you were a fan of a team, to get that information so fast,
Right.
Through social media, in the race to, if you tweet out that somebody signed and you get it by 4 seconds and you're Woodward and Bernstein of the day, it is so different than it used to be just because of how quickly it moves. And you don't really have, when I worked in newspapers, you basically had 24 hours to process the information, to double check it, to talk to people. And now it comes out in little bits and pieces. And, that's the downside is I think, now fans, see the sausage being made in a way that they didn't, when they read one story in the newspaper in the morning.
And I've heard that a lot too over the years. And it's interesting, but just about like, when it comes to covering the game itself, like you want to talk about sources, but even working with some of the players over the years, that's been an adjustment too, because you can easily call them now. That's not always the case. You have to go physically see them in certain aspects. How have your relationships over the years changed when it comes to covering the game?
You're right. Through text, through phone calls, that's the best way in a lot of cases to get in touch with players. Because it really strikes me now to walk into a clubhouse and to look around this room with 26 players, and 95% of them are staring at their phone.
Mm-hmm.
And so in some ways you feel like when you walk up to the player and they're looking at their phone, am I invading their time? Am I, is this the right timing to talk to the player when he walks into the clubhouse? Whereas when I first started, you had 3.5 hours. Tony Gwynn would be standing there just hanging out in front of his locker, and you could talk to him for, 20 minutes. You could talk to him for 40 minutes. And now, again, it's got to go fast, got to go fast, got to go fast. And you could feel that at times body language from the players. There are exceptions. You and I talked about Joey Votto before, getting conversation with him, Rich Hill. But a lot of the young players, you can feel that once you get past 2 or 3 questions, 3 minutes, they're like ready to move on to, the next thing.